to give to when you do a kingdom fast? Minister Bai just told us that from Isaiah 58 verse 6, we give to number 1, the New Living Translation, we give to those who are in prison. We give to those that work for us or with us. We are on point number 3, which is give to those that are abused, maybe in a homeless shelter. All right, let's keep going then. Any other thing you want to add, Mr. Bai, from what verse?
No, I'm done.
That was verse 6.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Who wants to bring in their contribution? Something Minister Bai did not say.
So I
From the
was
hands that are up.
so I was
Go ahead.
sharing the same verse with Minister Ibai.
Yes, maybe you saw something different than what she saw. Reading from another translation, we want to pull them all out, then make a
So
final.
I was reading mine from the Easy English.
Easy
And
English. Okay.
it
What verse?
says
Did you pull
verse
anything
6.
from any verse?
Verse 6. No, it was just in verse 6.
Okay.
I'll just read it and then I explain how I understood it.
Yes, dear.
It says, you must remove the chains from prisoners who should not be in prison. You must stop being cruel to the people who work for you. You must let people who are in pain go free. You must break the yoke of work that is too hard for weak people.
Wow.
And after going through the teaching on fasting, Mama, you talked about sometimes it's not just money. You could also give, as Ms. Ibai said about the giving of physical substances. I looked at the opposite of this. People who are being cruel for, sometimes it's not just about things, but if you can show them compassion, so that somebody just need a kind word to make their day. And the people who are being abused, they don't get good words. So you could give that good words. And then for your workers, in addition to giving them things, you can be merciful to them, because it says, you must stop being cruel to the people who work for you. So it's not about things, but the way you treat them. So you should now treat them with compassion and mercy. So that's what I wanted to add to that.
Awesome. Miss Chunga, your hand is up.
Thank you, Mama. No, they said everything, so the next verse.
Okay. What verse are you talking about?
Verse 7.
Yeah, you saw something in verse 7?
Yes, Mama.
Okay, what did you say? Let's go to verse 7. What version were you reading from?
I had 2 versions. So the Amplified and the Contemporary English version.
Okay. Let's hear what you saw from the Amplified first.
From the Amplified, it says to give to the hungry and to give to those that are in the shelter, to the homeless people and those in need. And then from the Contemporary, it says to share, was pretty much the same thing, but then it just added the poor, and then to give clothes to those in need and your relatives, which is your flesh and blood. So the Amplified says, is it not to divide your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into the house? When you see the naked, that you cover him, and not to hide yourself from the needs of your own flesh and blood. And then the Contemporary says, share your food with everyone who is hungry, and share your food with the poor and homeless, and to give clothes to those in need, and don't run away from your relatives.
So, Minister Bai, there are 3 points there. The first one is, who do we give to when we fast? Anyone that is hungry. So it goes back to like a homeless shelter, somebody on the street. I know you know how to write these things, so we'll just let you write how you can write them. Design them how you will like. So we give to those that are hungry. We give to the homeless again. Homeless comes up again. And now this is a yummy one. you can give to your family members that are in need. Did you see it? Is it only me?
No,
it's
Mama.
just
I see it, Mama.
Mama.
I saw it too.
Yeah, I don't like you. You're so needy. I'll give you my fasting seed. Don't take it. I will be mad at you.
Yeah.
That was a joke. So yes, you can also give to family members that are in need. You see that?
Mhm.
Now, but I can give you the conclusion before we go ahead. These things we're writing is not to tell you that you do what your flesh wants. It means that you look at this list and say, Holy Spirit. Now, for those in the Bay family, it's easy because we always ask the Lord where to sow our fasting seed. We honestly, right now, we haven't sown for the last, since January, fasting seed is in place. And we need to sow it this March. And I know that you will talk where to sow it. When we fast, a lot of you give your fasting seed. We put it together. Camp Ashland. One of the reasons why we pick Camp Ashland is because it feeds a lot of this. There's so much that they do there. Homeless people literally just go and hang around. Some go and stay there forever even. And they get the gospel. It's, for me, I really liked it because it has everything. They will get a place to stay. Sometimes they have food, not sometimes, they always have food to eat. And this camp has been run for years without financial, it's only through donations. I'm telling you, only through donations.
Wow.
For years. I think it has been there for 64 years now. 64 years. For me, it's a miracle. And I tell you, since we started giving there, I see the difference. This kingdom is not overnight, but the results are always tremendous. So that's the place we've given our fasting seed for the past year, the entire 2022. This year I've been listening if we should change. That was the only reason the money has been there. And I haven't heard. So I believe that by the end of this fast, we'll know if we should continue giving there or we should spread it. My desire was to be able to cover all these areas. That's why I wanted us to look at it. I want us to have something we can look at. Because if you are doing, except your weight donation and you're fasting, that's not a kingdom fast. If you decide to fast one-on-one, not in a corporate setting, and you really want to see the effectiveness that you've seen right here in this verse 6, 7 to 9, look at the tremendous benefit of fasting the kingdom approach. You want to do it, you need to have that list too and look at it. If your fasting is kingdom focused, you look at that list and then you see the results. I've said it severally because it's in the Old Testament, domain is the Old Testament. There are kingdom chapters in this Bible, chapters that even in the next millennium, we'll still be doing them. If you're going to the kingdom anyway, we should all be going. So, that was verse 7. How many did you see anything in verse 8? Miss Chunga, your hand is still up.
No, Mama.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
You're welcome. The next set of people from verse 8. So we had 5. No. If you're on the next set, put your hand up. If your number fell anywhere between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, put your hands up. Or was it 6? No, from 6. No. 6. The last, this one we just had was
I stopped
3
at 9.
to, you stopped at
6,
9.
Yes, Mama.
Okay. If your category was from 6 to 9, your hand was already up. So let's see from 9 to 9. Yes, anything 9, put your hands up.
Mama, no, it's 10 to 13.
So we have 9, 10,
Stopped at
11.
9.
Papa, you start at 9 to 13.
10 to
It's supposed to be
13.
Wait,
9.
Mama.
Yeah, it was 10 to 13. So whoever took 9.
Okay,
Papa,
let me
I
put my
know.
hand back.
Papa, you're good. Did you find anything at 9, Papa?
Okay,
Let's make
Mama.
sure. Did you
Mama,
find anything at 9?
I did
There is
9.
nothing at 9, because 9 said,
Okay.
then the Lord will
The
call you.
consequence.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So there's
Mm,
nothing at
So
9. So let's do
no,
10,
so it's
11,
10.
10, 11, 12. If your number falls between 10, 11, 12. I know I crisscross people's number. I'm very aware. I did it intentionally. 12, if you're, no, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Put your hands up. If you fall in any of those, put your hands up. All right. I did find something in 9, though. I don't know why you all didn't find it.
Lord.
Let's go to 9, everybody. Let's go to 9. Read 9 and let me hear what you think. Everybody.
Or
Let's
the heavy yoke, remove the heavy yoke from
From
the
where?
Take away the
oppression.
from your
From who?
Me?
From you?
No.
Uh,
No. This is from your mist.
From your mist.
the point
What
of
does that mean? Anybody know what it means?
remove
Yes.
the heavy yoke of
Yeah.
oppression.
Mm-hmm. Is that
Yeah, I
related to
mean, if
giving?
you're
Don't mistreat others or say something cruel to them.
Mama, that could be like if say I know Minister Bai have a car payment and I have the money, I just pay it
Uh-huh.
off and that
In your
removes
mist.
that weight. Yes.
In your mist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it means. Read it well.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's no need that if the person is in your midst and they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wrote it in my book. I'm not talking. It's not about somebody who is careless, though. If you do it for somebody who is careless, it should maybe be one. If you do it once, you do it twice, you do it 3 times, you're enabling them.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Because you
see.
have to make sure you quantify it. If not, somebody will say, I'm in their midst and they didn't take care. In the
Mm.
Bill family, maybe some of you here for the first time. If you don't give your tithe here and you get in trouble, I don't make the decision. The leaders are here. If you don't like it, hold them. All of us submit to it. Starting with me. If you don't give your tithe here and you are in trouble, it's not our primary concern. That's the truth. It's not our
Oh,
primary
yes.
concern. Then number 2, if you're here, you give your tithe emotionally, because we see your tithe. We know that you're not consistent. Even the Cameroon, they send Cameroon financial statement every month, so we know who is giving or not. We check that. Now I'm saying this so you understand that when they say in your midst, it doesn't mean that if you are affiliated or related and associated, you are in the midst. No,
Yeah,
it's not the
Mama.
midst.
You must be planted.
must be planted.
There we go. Thank you. You
Mm-hmm.
finished the word. So the midst
That's
there
right.
means that you are actually, because if you don't bring it to the storehouse, where should it come from? That's the first thing.
Mm.
Except you want to exploit, and we cannot enable you to do that because that's not kingdom. We stand for the kingdom. Number 2, do we do free will to people that are not in our midst? Yes. But what if we have 5 needs ahead of us? Because B always has projects. You might not hear about them because we don't tell you. If we have the money to do it, we don't even announce anything. So if we have, for example, March, we have 4 or 5 projects, and maybe yours is the one we are considering, but then you're not a tither in our midst, or you don't even participate in meetings, or you're working on something that we can tell that this one can get out anytime. You don't want to invest in that. There are signs of people that are not planted, and all of us know. If you're planted, you know. If you're not planted, you know. The next thing we do is, if you are here, many of you will hear this for your first time. We have the rules are so set. I'm telling you, they are weird, but they are set, and they are set from the word. If you're here, we know that you have a pastor and you have a church. Because Bill, before now, we have Bill Church, which is part of Bill. When we didn't have a church, if you have a church, it's okay. But if you're here, you have a church, you have another pastor, and we know with evidence, we can never take you as a priority. That's the truth. So do we want you to only be here? No. We understand that you are a grown-up. You've made a decision. So I want us to understand these things before maybe you start questioning that do they have different standard for different people? No. I will take myself as an example. When I have a need, I don't come to Bilo. All these leaders, I don't remember the day one of them ever called me and said, Mama, I have need for this. Can Bill support me? No. Why am I saying this? Because they already know the protocol. So I'm sharing this so that I know many of you are leaders. You need to set these structures when you begin to lead. And then so that when you go somewhere else, you want to understand that most places have standard for how they do things like this. They might not tell you publicly, but they do. They do. I know that many churches will have standards like that. So if you're in a congregation and maybe you had a need, the pastor did not respond, don't kill the pastor. Ask yourself, could it be that I didn't fit in the standard where they could take care of me? Pastor Bojo said something that changed my life. He said, if every church would take care of their own, there'll be no needy people, or at least few people to be taken care of. I know you heard that. Yes.
It's true.
If every church, if every community, he said during COVID, somebody told him that, his church is this, his church is that, they're supposed to be out there doing it. He said, no, we are doing things inside. And that's where we should be. This is the truth. When you belong to a healthy, godly community, should have the social aspect. That's why we have Creative Corner. Because we know that you like to share some things and they shouldn't be on global. We know that. That's why we have Sarah's Daughter, where it's for women, married women, or women that like to be married. So we can do whatever we like to do, the married women stuff and girly stuff. Somebody's like, there's Creative Corner and there's Sarah's Daughter. There's a Sarah's Daughter platform only for women in this family. If you're not there, you want to be there, let me know. I'll send you the link. That's why we do all women's stuff. It's a business forum. What if somebody comes with a business forum and say, where my business is right now, I need all of you to stand with me. I need $500 capital. Trust me, in less than 2 hours, we'll have that money. If they're genuine, they'll have it. Because descending of spirit is very important for business people too, especially for business people. I saw a headline and I laughed. They said, just like what Ms. Buka was sharing with us, they said a teacher, a principal in Florida has been scammed $100,000 by somebody pretending to be Elon Musk.
Hey!
100,000. It's not his money. Money. I don't know if he wanted to buy a computer, whatever he wanted to buy. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline. See, it's the same thing. Now the kids, the person was posting to be Elon Musk. Now the man is in trouble. So this list, I really wanted to explain it. Every community should be able to help their own. That's one of the reasons why there is a particular amount for birthday gifts for those who belong to this family. Definitely for leaders, it's not the same. At the end of the year, whatever we have left, we send some to the leaders. Not because we could not do 25,099,000 projects. No, that's how it goes. You make sure that the ones that are in your midst are taken care of. This is scriptural. I'm glad we saw it together. Any question on that one before we continue, please?
No, Mama.
So did you write the point? Did you write the point, Minister Ibai?
Yes, Mama.
When you're fasting, you can look at somebody at bill, not the one that asked you for it or manipulated you. You can be fasting and say, Lord, where do I give my seed? You say, send it to my email. Send it to me. Not because I'm the prophet, because he knows I need it. You can say, send it to, who else has children? Send it to Serana. Serana has a need. You will never know. But you have to be discerning to hear. The bottom line with this list we're not making a set of jail cell or something like that. No, we're helping you to know where to give when you're fasting. It's something to walk with, but then you walk with it and the Holy Ghost. You're not taking the Holy Ghost out of this. Do we understand, right?
Yes,
Ma-
Mama.
Yes, Mama.
So that's what I saw in verse 9. Anybody else saw something in another verse? Sister Light, did you see anything else there in your verses?
Yes, Mama. Yes.
Verse what?
In verse 10.
Verse 10. What did you see? What version were you reading?
I read NKJV and NIV, Mama.
Okay.
So I'm reading now from NIV.
NIV,
It says,
okay.
if you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed. So the hungry
what
there,
is
I picked. Sorry, Mama.
No, I say, what did you pick from that?
Hungry,
Mm-hmm.
giving to the hungry and then the oppressed.
Okay. Awesome. Mr. Ba, you must have that one written already, right?
We have hungry, yes.
Yeah, come back 2 times.
Okay. Yeah, it's doubling itself. All right. What else did you see, Sister Light? Yeah, that one doubled. Did you realize hungry and oppressed are double?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Maybe we give them 2 points. Give them
3
stars.
3
Three,
stars.
okay. 3 stars. Okay. Did you see anything else, Sister Light?
No, Mama.
All right.
Mama, there's one more.
Go ahead, Sonny. What verse?
Verse 10, the afflicted.
Who's the afflicted? What version did you read it from?
This one is amplified.
Amplified. Okay.
Yeah, so afflicted means someone that's hurting.
In verse 10? I didn't see afflicted in verse 10.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's there.
58:10.
And satisfy the need of the afflicted. Okay, they could be sick people. Maybe pay somebody's hospital bill.
Or sick people, yeah.
We're
Yep.
talking about giving, no. All the other charity of clapping your hands, giving them a kiss is okay, but we're talking about giving. It is important to give. We're talking here is give. The key word here is give, meaning you give money, you give resources, money. Don't take it out of money.
Ma-
All right. Who else? You all, Sister Light, your hands should, let me help you with your hands. Papa,
Oh, yes,
did you
Mama.
see anything else? What verse?
No,
If you are arming. All right.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all right.
Okay. Let's see verse 12, because you all ended at 13, right?
Yes, Mama.
Mama.
I have something from 12.
Whoa.
Where to give at verse 12. Everybody go to verse 12. Anyone, if you choose to read it, go ahead. Anybody wants to read verse 12, read verse 12. Let's
Some
pray
of
something.
you will rebuild the ruins of your city.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
What I wrote down is developmental projects, like roads, bridges, anything that takes humanity forward. You can give your fasting seed there. If you're led, because we're showing you the things that it will likely can lead you to give to. This is, like I said, it's not a lock and
And
a
you will
key.
know as road, the rebuilder of walls and restorers of homes.
Somebody was talking behind
building
Papa. Who is saying what?
No, it's in the Amplified said the restorer of streets with dwellings. So it says you'll be called repairer of the breach, restorer of streets with dwellings.
The beginning say, and you people will do what? Rebuild the ancient ruins. So you can get involved even in building projects. I want us to have a picture of the things we can do when we are fasting, places we can give to. All right. Mr. Bai, did you write that one? 58 verse 12?
Yes, Mama.
Okay, projects, developmental projects like building roads, building bridges, or anything that takes humanity forward. All right, those who were scavenging 11, 12, 13, 14, put your hands up if you found anything. I did not, so I can close my book. Minister Kaba, why are you quiet now? You're at work. Oh man, she's at work. She says you called her to come work. All right, anybody found anything? It's what?
She's preparing to go.
I know you're preparing to go, yes. Anybody found anything in verse 13? As far as giving is concerned? No? Okay. 14? No, I didn't see anything.
Well,
All
from
right.
that 14 to 40 is a blessing now.
It's only blessing, so there's nothing to do.
Yes.
All right. How many do we have, Minister Vi? Did you number? Maybe you did not number.
We have 9.
Mama,
We have 9. Yes.
can I ask a question,
Yes,
please? Like, okay, so like it says to honor the Sabbath day in everything that you do. So would that be like giving yourself to, like, giving to God?
Honoring the Sabbath. So it means like when you're fasting, you should give to God.
Yeah, or resting.
Like give your fasting offering to God.
Yeah. Could that be?
How do you all think? Where did you read that from? Verse 13?
Yes, Mama. In the New Living Translation.
New Living. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Don't pursue your own interests on that day, but enjoy the Sabbath and speak of it with delight as the Lord's holy day. Honor the Sabbath in everything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desire or talk idly. Mr. Bai,
Yes, Mama.
call to the carpet. What is your opinion to that one?
He's just talking about the entire fast now, what you do. Meaning he has already showed us what we have to do.
So, and you're doing it with this attitude.
Yes.
That's what I understand too. Anybody has a different understanding? All right, so read your list so we can have maybe 10 minutes to pray before we go.
Okay. Number 1, we give to people in prison. Isaiah 58 verse 6 NLT. Those who work for and with us. Isaiah 58 verse 6 NLT. We give to shelter for battered women/children. Isaiah 58 verse 6 NLT. We give to the hungry. Isaiah 58 verse 7 Amplified. 5. We give to the homeless and homeless shelter. Isaiah 58 verse 7 Amplified. We give to family members who are in need. Isaiah 58 verse 7 Amplified. We help, number 7. We help those in our midst. Isaiah 58 verse 9 Amplified. Number 8. We can pay someone's hospital bill. Isaiah 58 verse 10 Amplified. Number 9. You can give to developmental projects like roads, bridges, or anything that takes humanity forward. Isaiah 58 verse 12. I'll pull NIV. So that's it, Mama.
Awesome. So I don't know if you were blessed, but I'm blessed because you simplify my life.
I'm truly blessed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When Daddy gave the assignment, I was like, this is some good assignment, but when do we do this? And how do we do it? I'm glad we obeyed. Most of the time, you don't know why he tell us to do things like this, but he's a good God. Let's go ahead and give him time. Instead, by when you design it, send it to us so we can have it saved somewhere. Father, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for the purpose of this. We definitely don't know everything that you want to do with this, but I thank you. I thank you for the grace to be obedient. Thank you for
Thank you,
helping
Lord.
us to do our
Thank
part.
you, Lord, for
Thank
helping us do our
you.
part.
In the name of
Thank you,
Jesus, we are
Father.
grateful.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. You
Thank
are
you, Daddy.
super good to us.
Oh,